Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and I'm joined as usual with Susan over there. And this week we're discussing a movie from 1991. Everybody, God, that long ago. Uh, Susan's give it away already. Look at that. We're talking Silence of the Lambs today. Um, but I feel like I need a bottle of Chianti at the side of me here. Uh, So yeah, we're talking Silence of the Lambs, a story of an FBI agent who's in training, um, who was given this job of interviewing a lunatic, a serial killer who's imprisoned, and of course that's the famous Dr. Hannibal Lecter, played by the amazing Oscar-winning Anthony Hopkins. He actually won the Oscar for this part. I think didn't Jodie Foster win the Oscar for
I think so.
Clarice? Yeah. Um, because the FBI need to find a missing woman who's been abducted by another serial killer, Buffalo Bill, played by Ted Levine. Um, it's just getting into the heads of these people, as they say, don't let them get into your head. Of course, Hannibal Lecter can get into anybody's head, either psychologically or physically, uh, if he's got a good knife and a fork. So we will go to Susan now for her opening thoughts on Silence of the Lambs. Of course, this is the second book in the Thomas Harris lecture series,
Uh-huh.
and they made the movies after this. What's that? Can't see
This is the
something.
book,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thomas
So
Harris.
yeah, I mean there was Red Dragon, there was Silence of the Lambs, there was Hannibal Rising. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but this was the most successful of the movies. There was a movie made before this called Manhunter, which was Red Dragon under another name.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been two versions of Red Dragon, but this
Yeah,
is the one what won all the awards.
yeah.
So we will go to Susan now. Silence of the Lambs, Susan.
All right. Well, first of all, it was a good thing to. It's very timely, this movie right now, because of the complete obsession of one of our political candidates with Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter. If you look for hashtag Hannibal Lecter, it's always trending on Twitter or whatever X. That's what we. I mean, we're gonna ride in on that wave of expanded excitement again with this podcast here because of that. Uh, we hadn't really delved into the Thomas Harris thing. I don't even know if that political candidate knows that it was written by a guy named Harris, and he's running against a woman named Harris. I mean, like that sort of
Political.
coinky
Does this political candidate know that Hannibal Lecter is a lunatic and a cannibal?
dink. And it's written by a Harris, and the other one, the the vice president of the United States is a Harris, and she's running. Harris is running against him, and so because he was obsessed with walls, also, it's also funny that she has another a co-candidate named who's running for vice president named Walls. So all of these things are actually scripted on the irony script for for the Republican the MAGA Republican candidate. And I just think it's hilarious because, if you don't see it, if you haven't actually figured it out that all of these things are major coincidence, then you're just it's just too sad for yours truly to think this movie. I mean, first of all, Ted Levine as James Crumb, aka Buffalo Bill. The reason he's called Buffalo Bill is because of the Buffalo Bill thing was that he'd shoot, capture, and play the animals. And so like the animal like this one is named that because of the removal of the skin. And and then you see in this movie the skin being sewn together. That's just too intense. It's quite gruesome. And then there's the whole thing with I mean the prison scenes with Lecter are Hopkins is hard. It's hard to find a better actor in the world, really, play to play this amazing character. I mean, eventually it was played by Mads Mikkelsen, but Mads Mikkelsen is also quite a provocative actor in his own way. I think that they also the use of Scott Glenn as the FBI is great. I mean, you get that, but Ted Levine, who played a police sergeant in Monk. I mean, talk about being able to play both a villain and a good guy. I mean, Ted Levine's abilities as an actor are amazing. I mean, like that, you get it. And Jodie Foster never. I don't think she ever played the bad guy. She was playing the rebel child, sort of bad girl, but not, just rebel child in Taxi Driver. But this one really made her career. I mean, she nailed it so hard. I mean, she did such a good portrayal of Clarice Starling. And now they have the new one where it's more procedural and less provocative. The TV show was procedural and but this one was really provocative and due to the coincidences that are surrounding the current situation in obsession over these things. I mean, you can get it that we at Geeks Assembled who obsess over things had to bring this up. We had to. There was just no two ways about it. This is the time to watch Silence of the Lambs and discuss Hannibal Lecter and discuss Anthony Hopkins, who is a British guy who has been thrust into the American spotlight, and Mads Mikkelsen hasn't yet been pushed into it, but that's because you never hear of anybody from the Republican campaign talk about the Mads Mikkelsen version, you only hear about the Anthony Hopkins version, and so amazing. And so I had to thrust our own British icon Lee Wilson into discussing this with me. Yeah, it's just it's about time. And all right, so go for it, Lee. What your opening stuff and all of that?
It's a classic movie, isn't it? From the beginning to the end. I think it took people by surprise how good it was. Because before this, not many people had heard of Hannibal Lecter.
For the Harris
I know in 1986 there was a movie called
Manhunter.
Manhunter, which was Red Dragon.
Yeah.
Brian Cox played Hannibal Lecter then,
Mm-hmm.
but it took from 86 to 91 for someone to take that role and make it their own, make it iconic. So much so that he played it another two times in movies. Just being it's such the character of Hannibal Lecter so clever and so devious. Um, it's an amazing portrayal from Anthony Hopkins, and you just once he's on screen, you're just there watching. Because if you notice, I don't know if you notice when he's on screen, he doesn't blink. Have you
Really?
noticed that? He Well, I was watching it, and when he's talking to Clarice behind the glass or wherever, I'm
Yeah.
thinking that guy is not blinking. He's just looking at her, talking, and not blinking. Um,
Wow. What?
and I'm thinking, wow, that is. He's just sort of It's like searching into her soul. What a great actor. A great movie, as I say. The supporting cast are brilliant. It's gory, and why not? As you said, you've mentioned Scott Glenn in this, playing Jack Crawford. It's a shame that each time there was a movie out, it was a different actor playing Jack Crawford.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's a shame Scott Glenn never returned to do it again. It's a shame Jodie Foster never returned
That's Starling.
in Hannibal, but
Uh-huh.
they had good enough actors to do it. But yeah, it's a very atmospheric movie.
Mm.
Because if you first see it and you've never seen it before, you don't know what's going to happen.
Mm.
It's the threat of the young woman kidnapped and captured and thrown down a well.
Mhm.
Because Buffalo Bill wants a size 14 woman and she's a size 14, so he can skin her to wear the woman's skin. As Lecter said, he covets. He covets. Um, and it's a strange character, is Buffalo Bill.
Mhm.
Um, manly, he's a very manly guy, but then when he's in his house and you see all these flamboyant silk dressing gowns, the sewing machine, the mannequins with this half skin suit and the iconic scene with the music from Q Lazarus, "Goodbye Horses,"
Uh-huh.
when he's dancing around in that silk kimono,
Uh-huh.
when he does the little reveal.
Uh-huh.
uh, an iconic scene that
He reveals his tuck.
he does the tuck.
He does the tuck. I mean, he
Not,
does.
not every man is capable of doing that,
Right.
but he did it, and that goes down in movie history, and it goes down in movie history as well of the escape of Lecter and how he must have thought through how he was going to do this to get out of the asylum to move to somewhere else was all planned.
Uh-huh.
He planned it all.
And he planned it based on the movements of his warden
Mm.
in the original asylum.
Yeah, is it Chilton? Dr.
Yeah,
Chilton? Yeah.
and
It's,
how and how every time I saw the name Anthony Held, I'm really sorry, or Healed. I don't know how his name is pronounced, but I also it, I you know it in me it's just Anthony Head. It's just like it's
no,
just
it wasn't him.
no, I know, but like you just look at that and you're like, that's the wrong name. But anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, it, it's an amazing story.
Mhm.
And each I mean, this was a big grossing movie, and each movie has grossed a lot of money.
Yeah.
Um, it's and then at the end of it, she gets her FBI badge. Lecter is left wandering the world freely.
Uh-huh.
Because he's having an old friend for dinner. Um, poor old Chilton. Uh,
Yeah, and the the guy who sang Wicked Game is in this, Chris Isaac.
Chris Isaac, he plays one of the FBI soldiers, agents.
So yeah, so the SWAT or whatever.
SWAT squad in the elevator scene.
And yes.
Yeah. I mean that where Lecter escapes from that cage and just hangs that cop up and spreads his
Uh-huh.
skin like a huge angel.
Yeah, and then like they show the middle of that cop
Yeah.
missing because he'd been, consumed.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was a hearty meal.
Lecter got a lot out of that guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there was like the one of the guys in the glassed in prison, or was all like, I can smell you.
Yes, and then it took just a few words of persuasion from Lecter because he was in the next cell the guy to kill himself really.
Right. And
So
then
whatever he said to him,
yeah, and then the other there was like four of them,
yeah,
and then there was one that was really friendly. It was like, I can't take it down here.
yeah,
And that one was played by somebody who is on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
really,
So I mean, like, we've got people playing against type. Ted Levine playing a serial killer,
yeah,
and Don Brockett playing a psychopath. I mean, we have and Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins playing Hannibal Lecter. I mean, we have people. All the only ones that were playing to type were Jodie Foster and and Roger Corman, of course, and well, even Roger Corman, he's playing an FBI director, not a monster. I mean, that's amazing. So like, and then there was yeah, Scott Glenn playing Jack Crawford. I mean, those three were playing to type, but the rest of it, everybody was playing 180 degrees from type.
uh, well,
Amazing.
I've got to mention uh, the the death
Hmm.
moth, which Buffalo Bill was inserting down the throats of his victims,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
and they were saying it's only found in a certain country. This death moth, so someone must be keeping them, as pets somewhere and growing them.
Pets, warm,
Yeah,
love.
in the
And,
war
and
in the
you
war
and you
time.
and you go into that house and you see all the beautiful butterflies and everything.
Let's say the death moth. Wow, I mean, what an ideal creature to in the throat. And, ooh.
Huh?
Going to the house as well. That scene where she realizes who it is
Yeah.
and the lights are out. I found myself holding my breath.
Even now, even after you've seen it
Yeah,
a bunch
I
of
was
times, we're crying
because
out loud. What
of
the
the night.
hell?
Yeah, of the night vision, and she
Right?
stood there with a gun. She's there, and you can see his hand just touching like a wisp of her hair, and oh,
Yeah.
shock. I mean, the camera work on this is amazing.
Mhm.
Storytelling is amazing.
Mhm.
You can
What
see
was the
why.
doggy? The
Plot,
the the little precious being lured to into the well with the
yeah,
Martin
well,
girl.
yeah, but there again, the little precious looked like it had a new owner because she walked off with it.
I know.
She walked off with it with the police. She had it still in her arms.
Uh-huh.
So Precious survived.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's
Uh,
an amazing movie. As I said, the sequels and the prequels are as amazing too, and the TV series. So
and
highly recommend them all.
I know that we were talking just a little bit about Eddie Izzard in the previous one, but Eddie is in the TV show with Mads Mikkelsen. He plays a killer who a cannibal, and he's forced to eat his own leg.
Yeah, he's a doctor as well, isn't he?
He's a doctor, but he's also a cannibal, and he's forced to eat his own leg. And I don't know what it is about these British actors that I love who have these turns at playing cannibals. I mean, there's Robert Carlyle in 28
Mhm.
Weeks Later, or not Revenger. It's called
Ravenous.
Ravenous. And then there's this.
Yeah,
It's just amazing.
it's yeah. I would say it's a shame that the TV series was left on a cliffhanger.
Oh, they did that too. Oh, I can't.
Yeah, they did.
I can't finish it then. I can't go past the Eddie Izzard bits because otherwise I'll be broken hearted.
They did three series, and
Uh
at the end
huh.
of the third series, it was left on a cliffhanger. You thought, "Oh, can't wait for the next season," and
Oh,
they cancelled it.
oh, ouch. That's a
Like
low
they do,
blow.
like they do everything these days.
Yeah, like Stargate Universe. Oh yeah,
I,
we've got
I,
3 years to go between galaxies. We'll be back in 3 years.
yeah,
13 years later, we're just like
yeah, like
we
Star Wars.
haven't made it.
Yeah, Star Wars Acolyte cancelled.
Left
Dead
on
Boy,
a cliffhanger.
Dead Boy Detectives cancelled.
Dead Boy Detectives left on a cliffhanger. What the
Yeah,
hell?
if they're gonna, as well, if they're gonna do that, they might as well just do a second season, then finish it. Not
Yeah,
leave it on.
or do a wrap up movie. I mean, if
I
you
know,
can't, then you do the movie, right?
I know the makers of the Hannibal TV series have been promising and promising that they will try and get a fourth and final season made if it kills them.
Oh,
And it's been quite a few years now since the third season,
yeah.
but they keep going on about it saying we will do it. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
And isn't that guy Tom? What's his name? Yeah, his apprentice or
actor. Which actor's this?
Hang on. Um, oh, it's not. It's Hugh Dancy. I'm sorry. I I thought it was a different actor. For a second, the guy who played Will Graham. Anyway, never mind. Never mind.
Oh right.
So, yeah, the when the lights go out, that always gets me too. That is one of my most amazing. It still gets me every time. And then the other thing that's just like when the dog ends up in the well, and you just see like you see um the you see that character what's his name? Um, Here I am, like brain dead all of a sudden. James Gum,
Yeah.
uh, after doing the whole reveal, is forced to sort of get dressed and in a like a kimono or whatever, and isn't given any time to take off any of the makeup or anything. So boom, Clarice picks up on some things, and that's really amazing too. Yeah, it's a really cool thing.
It's a cool movie, and it's not often because it is classed as a because it's 18 rated. The class it as a psychological horror thriller. It's not often like that type of movie wins the Academy Awards, so it was quite a thing back then for it to happen. Um, Anything else you want to say about Silence of the Lambs?
Um, oh,
I mean, that's I mean that an iconic.
the fact the fact that Clarice's character was so strong, and they definitely juxtapose her next to Lecter, next to all the FBI people, next to
Yeah,
all the SWAT people, next to all those boys in the gym. I mean, she is just like, the comparison and contrast there. It's you know, she is shown to be one of the and then the fact that they created another show this year called Clarice, or last year or whatever, that was all about her. And I mean, she's an amazing character herself. And what a cool thing Jodie Foster did with the character.
yeah.
But Jodie brings a huge package of reality about herself, her diction, her physicality. I mean, a lot of it feels like it's the same as every other character she plays, but that's just because she brings so much of that, of who she is, kind of to that.
I mean, it's also as well iconic image of Auntie Hopkins strapped to a sack barrow with a straight jacket on
Hmm.
and a mask.
And the mask, yeah, that you were just showing that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just an iconic image, isn't it, of him?
it is. It really is. It's like a next step from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in terms of
Yeah,
that kind of we're revealing what crazy really looks like. And
Mm.
and you're wearing a Batman shirt, but isn't there like a character Bane
There is
who
there is a character called Bane, yes.
wears the cover the mask cover for the mouth?
Oh, well, in the comics, he wears a Mexican wrestling mask
Oh, okay, but
because he's a ex Mexican wrestler.
okay, but what about the
You're on about Tom Hardy, who spoke like that.
yeah the covering of the mouth?
Yeah.
Anyway, just it's all tied together. Everything is very very holistic today. Okay, and so our holistic healing for the psychological damage done by watching Silence of the Lambs and we'll have. Oh my god, that was amazing.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Oh my god,
What a quote.
what a god. Yeah, this one's
Um,
got some.
so
Like,
shall we final saying score?
yeah, okay.
Go on then.
All right, this one gets this movie gets 10 dogs down a well out of 10. Gonna kill the dog. Gonna
Um,
kill your dog.
I think it broke its leg as it came down.
Uh,
Um, I'm going to give this 10. I'm going to give this 10 fava beans out of 10. Um, or it could be 10 bottles of lotion to rub on the skin.
mhm.
But yeah, it's an amazing movie. It took the people by storm back in 1991. And if you haven't ever seen the movies, I recommend you do see them. But as well, read the books.
Yeah, the books are amazing. I mean, I've been listening to the books, and they're so good.
Yeah, they are. I read the books years ago. I think I
Paris.
read. Yeah, I think I read the book around about the same year the movie came out.
Oh wow, Paris
So
is a good writer.
yeah, so fully recommend the movies and the book. So Susan, thank you for joining me. You know this cast has made me quite hungry. So I might just might have a nibble on a finger or something. Um, you guys out there, have you seen the movie? Let us know if you have. Leave a comment below on the video. You'll find
Somebody
you.
should muzzle Lee.
Yeah, you'll be watching this video if you've found it on a social media. We're on all the platforms. I share this about, so, so just leave a message below on the video to say if you've seen it or if you want to join us.
Yeah,
Say, look, can I join you in the cast or can I join the group? And yeah, all we ask is you've got to be 18 and over because, like this movie, it's an 18.
for good
So
reason.
that's why we asked that. All you need is a working camera and microphone on the device you use, so we can get the Zoom app working on there. And if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, please remember to press the bell notification, and you'll get
Ding
notified
ding.
every time. She does it now, and it always puts me off.
Sorry. Oh, stop.
Yeah, so just let us know if you want to join us. We sit here for a couple of hours on a Sunday, just having a little discussion of the movies, TVs, audio dramas, what you name it. We just have a laugh, don't we?
Yeah,
And,
it
and
is.
some,
This is
and
really
sometimes,
fun.
yeah, sometimes we have a little argument.
Yeah, even that's fun.
Yeah, because everybody can't agree on everything.
No,
And wouldn't that be boring if we did?
Yeah, if you and I agreed on everything, I wouldn't be necessary. That's for sure.
Mm, that's true. So, guys, get in touch with us. So, as I said before, thanks, Susan, for joining me, and discussing and this and all of the body parts, what can be eaten. Um, so, until next time, please be safe and just be careful what you eat. Bye for now.